All right, ladies, gentlemen, and whoever else is existing, is the Timeless Podcast. I don't have a name for it, and neither do you. And until then, that's just what's going to be called.
Yeah, well, you said you had a name.
I had a name that I told you, and I think we're both like, that's bad.
No, there was another one that you had too.
Did
And
I?
I don't remember it. It was a while ago.
Oh, okay, I don't either. Because here's the thing. It is, as of recording, January 24th. We thought about this probably last year, like a while ago.
It was probably like last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago when I brought this up, and we just forgot and pushed it off because we're both busy people for
And
one
now it's
reason or another.
official.
Yeah, you call it
Officially
the
happening.
yeah, do you call it the official Timeless podcast? So there's
No.
no figures. No
Why would.
people
No.
trying to rely on our success.
That is like a horrible name for it too.
Well, I
We'll figure out
figured,
a name.
yeah, for the first one, I don't know, like I don't wasn't sure like if there's gonna be like a how the structure was gonna be, if there's gonna be like set topics to talk about or literally anything like that. But I figured I've decided maybe like an interview style thing. And I wrote down questions, but that was also this a while ago. So I had it written down, and then it sat in my book as I just forgot about it and sat on my desk. So I went back and found it, and it's reading my handwriting is a challenge, but I think I got
I really hope so.
it. I mean, I looked through it; it's fine. It's mostly just
If
faded because I wrote it down, and it's also like it's my sketchbook, so I've used it before, and it's just been there.
if not, it's gonna have to be off the dome.
Yeah. Well, I have a set number of questions. Also, we don't know how long it's going to run. I don't know how long these questions are going to be. I would say like the hour is a goal because that's usually as most ones do that.
Yeah,
And
most is
give
about
or
an hour.
give or take. There's some
Some
are
of them
really
are
long,
like.
some are
I think
like
like the shortest are usually about like 30, 40.
30. Yeah. So as long as we're like in that time range, because I don't think we're going to be here for 4 hours.
No,
Probably
there's
not.
no way.
I mean, off camera we do talk. We were talking literally right before we started. What the hell are we talking about?
If I'm honest with you, I can't remember.
I remember we were talking about.
Certain games we played, Resident Evil
What was
Village.
I was talking about because I was playing Deathloop before earlier. I was talking about like getting achievements. I was talking about like replaying Village, and I was talking about just,
Yeah,
like games that we haven't touched in a while to get achievements in. And for some reason, I think I was talking about the questions. I was like, I could barely read my own handwriting, and I thought about it more as like, well, that they never taught me or Paul because we went to the same elementary school years and years ago because we've known each other for a long fucking time.
almost 20 years. As a
Yeah,
matter of
almost.
fact, in exactly 4 years, it'll be 20.
Yeah, because we met each other in elementary school in third grade. We didn't have the same
Yes,
class. We were just in the same grade.
correct.
It's
And that
like,
was 2008.
yeah, that's correct. It's weird that we've known each other for more than half our lives when you think about it.
Yeah, well, cause that's 20
Almost
years.
almost 2/3.
Yeah, that would be 20 years and 4 years. And
Yeah,
not even to mention too, I did the math for everyone because I thought about
yeah,
that, and I
yeah.
was like, that
For
for you
James,
is
it's also
20.
pretty close.
For James, it is 12 this year.
Yeah,
For Steven, it is a full 10. For Tyler, it's also gonna be 20 years when it
yeah,
hits 28 or
yeah. So
2028.
16 years.
Ant, it is 9 years.
Yeah,
So
because oh yeah, 'cause you
essentially,
met him in high school because that was like a because we went to the same middle school together, but only for a little bit because I moved. And then, of course, we kept up together. That's usually, we played on Xbox, so we were, little kids playing Halo.
correct.
Yeah,
But yeah, so everyone is about, well, you and Tyler 20, James is 12, so he's 8 years off from there. So like when I'm
yeah,
because when I'm 32, that'll be 20.
yeah. You're saying
So
like you're
yeah,
close to 32.
it's a while,
I mean,
right? Like that's eight
you're
years.
closer to 30 than you are to zero. So
Correct. So like putting all that, but like really thinking about that, that's a lot of fucking years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
way more
mean,
than you would think.
yeah. Because it's funny because like when me and you've known for a while, I've met everyone through you. It wasn't like I met them when I brought them in really. Well, I mean for James and Steven and stuff like that.
Ironically, Ant said the same thing yesterday when we went out to eat. He said that I'm basically the glue. And I was like, you're right, because technically I knew
He
you.
sent he sent me that picture. I wish I screenshotted it. The picture of you and Steven next to it. You look like you dress like an Italian grandpa.
Thanks, man. I try.
You just need the hat.
I have, wait, like, what, like a flat cap?
Yeah.
I have it, I wear it sometimes.
Yeah, no. Then you would be the Italian grandpa.
Because people say that too. But he said I'm the glue because I've known you and Tyler, right? And then you, and then James, because of me, right? And then that started like this party, Xbox party, whatever, Xbox gaming thingy. And um then I met Steven in my freshman year. Then I brought him in. So that's
Yeah, because
three
he was
people.
because he was, what, was he a junior or a senior?
Steven was a junior, I think, when I started.
Yeah, 'cause no, he's a couple of years older.
I think he was a junior. No. He might have been sophomore. And then we just graduated at the same time.
Yeah.
And then Ant, I brought in. But Ant, and I had known Tyler since elementary. But Ant met Tyler in high school when Tyler went there. And then I brought Tyler in because Tyler had already known Steven for years before.
And
But
it's weird
I
how
brought like everyone
not
else
that
like together.
it's weird to say like I'm not gonna say exactly where everyone lives because that'd be dumb. But the fact that everyone in that group kind of lived near each other,
Oh yeah,
and we just didn't really
because
notice it. Like Tyler lived very close to you and not super close to me, but like I was closer to James, and James actually lived like right next to my what's the name of like a parent's cousin? I don't know. I've
your
never been
cousin,
able to figure that out. It would be my cousin.
it'd be like first cousin. I don't know,
Maybe,
something like that.
I don't know what the
It's
term is,
just
but
it's considered.
whatever that term is, he lived like a block away from
Yeah,
them.
because
So
like
and I've
technically,
been going back and forth that house for like since I was a kid.
technically, yeah, because you're there, and then me, Steven, and Tyler were like a triangle
Yeah,
essentially,
and
and
Steven used to live like really close.
then Ant used to live in the right next to where we went to middle school.
Yeah. Oh God, that middle school
So
fucking
technically, everyone was like, boom, 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 boom.
that middle school's a fucking mess.
Oh yeah, not a great place.
It was. Yeah, I in the one year that I went there, I was. I I finally tell these stories because it was almost a decade ago, or at least over a decade ago.
It was.
So yeah, so it's fine, and it's funny now. Even back then, I'm pretty sure it was still kind of funny
It was probably not funny when when it happened, and then
when it happened.
after,
In
like a
the,
day or
in,
two.
yeah, well, even then was I just couldn't get a fucking break. I remember first couple of months I was riding home once from school on my bike, and when they return from school, it's a fucking crowd of people. Apparently, I
Correct.
just rode my bike right too close to somebody, and some kid shoved me off my bike. I just didn't understand why. It's like I just ignored it and just went on my day. And then months later, it was in a gym class, which I had. That's where I met one of our friends, Cody. I think that was. Did I introduce him to you, or was it vice versa? Or do you already know him? I don't remember because we had at least one class together. Anytime we know each other, we've only had like one class together.
Well, I knew him from another class, and then you knew him
Yeah,
from that class, and
and
then
then
it
we
just
had
so
we all
happened.
the class together.
Yeah, and then it just so happened that everyone knew each other.
Yeah, which is convenient. In that class, that's when I fucking I was talking to Cody and somebody else maybe, and then I got kicked from behind in the balls. Here's the thing, I've told this to Paul several times. It makes him laugh every time.
Because it's just that shit's
It's
funny.
oh god, and it's like I don't remember who it was exactly I did. I mean, I know who it was. I can play the name or anything, but apparently I that happened, and I told the teacher, did whatever, and the counselor talked to her, the girl that did it because it was a girl, which I mean doesn't really change the story. It just makes it it just
It makes it even funnier.
it contextualizes it.
It makes it even funnier.
And apparently she told the counselor that I bugged at my leg and I kicked up and just so happened to be into my balls. And that's my mom literally told the counselor like that's bullshit.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because even as a little kid, when I was like 11 or 12, I'd be like, yeah, that's fucking stupid.
That's just amazing.
And then I don't know if anything else happened. I remember I got
Um,
some slapped the shit out of my neck. I remember that was.
See, that's even better. It's not as funny as the first, as the previous one, but that counts.
Oh, it was bad. And then, the musical school I went to, it was fine. I didn't actually, well, I did get into a fight that in my eighth grade year, but that's besides the point.
Good job.
I don't, did I ever tell you that?
No,
I wrote down questions or just kind of going past it, but that's fine. It's, makes it, we'll get to that eventually.
at some point.
I, you know, I'm not padding for time. I'm just remembering.
Go on.
No, in eighth grade, I think it's the thing. Whenever you move from one school to another, it's always a challenge. New people, trying to make new friends, do whatever. And in seventh grade, I got lucky. I found a group of people I really did like. And then in eighth grade, it was like everyone had different classes, so it was kind of like back to square one. I was kind of just
Hmm.
there in a lot of classes, and there was some fucking kid. There was just some asshole. Which I mean, I'm not gonna say it was entirely his fault. I w- I thought I was so much smarter and better than I was. I was He'd really like say shit, and I would like try to change it back, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I thought I was so much smarter than I was at the time.
Good job.
It's just like some asshole. And at some point, I decided it was in a gym class. We're doing something. It was a hockey thing. It was like the little sticks they give you for hockey.
No, never had that.
Oh, it's like a tiny stick. It looked like a cane, like a plastic cane.
Hmm.
And this little shit. I say little, little shit. He was saying shit, making fun of me, and I decided, enough was enough. So I threw it down and fucking ran at him and pinned him against the wall. And they broke it up before anything could happen. They sent me home,
That's amazing.
and I was suspended for 1 day.
For one whole day.
Well, because I think the way my school is, first time offense, it would be instead of 3 days like it normally is, it's 2 days. And since I already left home that 1 day, they just counted that as a day. And I remember my mom was like, I told her what happened. He's like, "You're not in trouble. Just don't do that again."
Don't.
Because I think she knows like I'm not a violent person. I think like she knew like something was wrong. Like I clearly was not the one
I,
that instigated it.
ironically, I can't picture that. Usually, I could
Well,
like
yeah.
visualize things, but like something I cannot like. I can't see
Well,
that.
like I would never get into a fight now, or I would never. I'm never the instigator for it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I never. Like yeah, even today I would never do anything like that.
I can't like picture that. That's bad. Like I really can't visualize it.
Yeah, but
It
if I
just
if
sounds
I
funny. I
but if
imagine like
if you
stick figures running at.
if you're if you're telling me, hey, you got into a fight in elementary school, I can kind of figure it out.
Like this is kind of funny.
So you never got into any fights, did you?
No.
Yeah, 'cause I don't like. I know in high school usually they have zero tolerance. Like if you get that, you get expelled.
Oh, at ours they used to have it. all the time, and people would get pepper
That's a-
sprayed.
Oh God.
It was never worth it. It was never worth it, bro.
Yeah. So I was
It
saying,
used to be funny.
your high school, I think, was like where we lived was not the best neighborhood. And
Oh, it
where I
was
went to high
not.
school it was a little bit better, but still, like the chances of that happening was
We
there.
had a full week. I'm talking about a full week where it was nonstop, back to back, back to back,
Oh
back to
God.
back, and it
I
was
remember
like
the one year in
annoying.
middle school where didn't some dickhead pull the fire alarm?
Yeah, no, no,
The
someone
one day,
lit it on fire.
the fire alarm on fire.
No, the bathroom. Yeah, somehow.
It'd be really funny. I think no, I remember that was the one day I didn't go to school. You were telling me about it.
Yeah, like we had to stand outside in the cold and wait,
That was
and it
fun.
was like it was horrible. I was like, let's just go home, bro.
Yeah. No, in my high school, the only thing that happened that I remember was there was a kid that threatened the school with a shooting.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and nothing happened. It was like he made the threat, and then I think the next day they told all the parents, "Hey, like there's an entire school if you don't want to send your kid in, that's fine." I still went in because apparently my mom didn't like she was asleep when they sent that text or that like email, whatever. And like by the time she saw it, she's like, "He's already at school," and nothing's gonna. I mean, nothing was gonna happen because I knew who did it, and he probably wasn't gonna do anything. Like
It,
I knew who the kid was. He actually rode my bus.
ironically,
I
we
knew
had
who
a
it was. So I like, weird.
we had a bomb threat
Oh God.
at ours, and they pulled. So, the funny part is they had a bomb threat. They pulled all the white people out of classes. So everyone would like come to me and be like, "Did you get pulled out?" And I was like, "What are you guys talking about?" No one ever pulled me out.
I think they look at you and be like, "Hey, you're probably not doing that."
I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "What are you guys talking about?" They were like, "No, like every single like white person got pulled out, except for me." And I was like, "What the hell does that even mean?"
I think that's a problem with schools part. They think only the white kids can put the bomb.
Yeah, no, it was like
I mean,
it was
that's a problem with the schools part.
it was such a weird like thing about it, and like they didn't even say anything to anyone. They were just kind of like started pulling people out, like questioning them. I'm like, how?
Maybe they just didn't get to you.
No, they went through like everyone. Like this
Did
was
they
a
call
full
other
day.
people in your
Like I
class?
didn't find out until almost the end of the day. Like that means that they went the full, what is it, like 8 hours schooling is.
Yeah, something like
So yeah, I didn't find out until almost the end of the day.
that.
And they were like, no, they went through like every class, like boom, 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 boom. Like so many
Yeah.
people got pulled out, and I was like, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they didn't get to me, or maybe they just didn't care.
Yeah. Maybe like the teachers or whoever's doing it, like, nah, he's cool.
Maybe like they were like, no, 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 like, that's not the dude, bro. That's not the dude. Like,
All right. Would you like to get to some questions?
yeah.
Okay. And these are again, I wrote these on a while ago, so this should be fun. Uh, what are your biggest inspirations for your content?
What do you mean by that?
Like, what inspires you to make what you make, or like who inspired you, like the way you make it?
It really depends. If we're talking about back in the day, machinima wise, the Ward Productions, shout out to them. Rooster Teeth at one point in time. No shout out to them.
Well, yeah, up to a point, and
Up
only to
to a
certain
point.
people.
Yeah. But for a while in the beginning, Ali was a big one.
Well, because for a while he was just the COD guy.
Yeah, I was about to say like he was big. And then Raffle Waffles, and then like if you're talking about like
I
now with like zombie achievements. So if we're talking about not zombie achievements, if you talk about zombies content, we're gonna go. I'm gonna rattle them off fast.
Okay, because I
It's
feel like I
Crystal,
know probably a lot
shout
of
out to
these.
him. Renzaru, shout out to him.
Yeah.
of course, Mr. Dalek JD, shout out to him. Mr. Waffle Waffle, shout out to him.
Yeah.
Kind of Noah J, but kind of not at the same time.
Well, because
But
he's
still,
like he does
shout out.
zombies, but he's been branching out a lot, doing other stuff too.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, he doesn't really do it as much anymore. But it's like, those are like the big ones for like that. If we're
Did
talking
you mention
about.
the true King Yodi Slayer?
No. Shout out to him,
Really?
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch him in
The
Meat
King.
Wagon when they
Oh
used to do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
See, remember when you said you didn't remember who Meat Wagon was? That's him. That was the co-op dude for all their. They were always
Do
doing
you? I remember in GT Zombies.
yeah. NGT. Well, I didn't watch him much.
I watched them a lot when they did like custom maps and stuff like that.
I didn't watch him much back in the day. I
I-
mostly watched like everyone else.
Yeah. I
Um,
remember watching Milo like when Black Ops 2 came out.
that was a long time ago now.
Yeah. Also a long ass time ago.
If we're talking about like achievement, like going for all achievements and stuff, it's probably like the platinum guys, which is Adam McDermott, shout out to him, and then Nick AR, shout out to him, because they do platinum trophies where they get like the platinums in the games. Oh, and then Snamwidges, shout out to him. That guy is fucking hilarious.
I keep seeing a pop up and I recommended. I should probably watch him.
Oh, he's hilarious, bro. Like you gotta watch him. He's funny. And then Yoma 97, funny too. Like shout out to them. Like, cause they get all the achievements in game, and they go for some of the hardest. Like Snamwidges did Left 4 Dead 2's expert realism
God.
by himself, single.
Why
It's
didn't
like
we watch
solo.
that before we started
by
doing
himself.
fucking Resident Evil? Was it Left 4 Dead 2? Because we had tried that like what was it, last week or something.
Not we didn't do the realism. We
We
did
just did
expert.
expert, and it was fucking hard.
He did expert realism by himself.
Some people are just good.
No, but like he always says that he's really bad at games.
Oh, and he did it.
And I'm like, he
Apparently
somehow
not.
achieves everything.
Apparently not. He did it.
So,
What a
yeah, I
hero.
mean, them probably would be like the biggest basis for a lot of it. Or
Yeah.
or for like playthroughs, it's definitely Hollow. Shout out to him. Hollow is like the playthrough guy.
Because I don't really watch them be like playthroughs of things that much.
If you do watch Hollow, like, because most of his content, he doesn't cut it a lot, so it's usually just like it feels almost like just a raw playthrough, and it's always a blind playthrough, so it just feels good. Sometimes he'll go back to games though and play them,
Yeah.
and it's like this game 12 years later or whatever amount of time, and like he's just really good. I like his, like, he's like the only playthrough guy that I'll actually like sit down and watch full playthroughs of. Personally, you know.
Yeah. I'd say I really watch those. I don't. It's like the only places I really watch is our content, which is but even then I didn't watch all of it.
Really?
But you know that's us. I mean, I watched a lot of our Gears ones.
I don't watch much of my own because I mean, there's no reason to.
Yeah, you were there.
But yeah, I was like, well, not just that. I was there. I edited it. Like, I know everything about it. That there's no like
Yeah.
secrets
And also
or
like
surprises.
that's the thing of like going back to your own stuff. You can see like your own mistakes.
Yeah, no, it's really
Like,
bad.
see-
Like, oh, I should have cut that, and that's really why I don't watch it. Because I'm like, oh, why didn't you cut that? Like when I watch old stuff, I'm like, that's too long. Like, why is there
Yeah.
such a long pause there, man? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
There's like it's like old stuff. Is like your old stuff on the channel?
No, most of it I unlisted.
Okay. 'Cause I know like
A lot of it I did.
like one of the first videos I think on your channel, well, for a long time was it like Resident Evil? Was it
Yeah,
Resident Evil
that's the
1?
first thing I ever did was the Resident Evil 1 remaster when it came out on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
That was when I still had to use Twitch.
It, oh, you're right. Yeah, that was probably the funniest thing. Like you barely talk in that, or like
Yeah.
it's so quiet.
I don't even think I talked in like the first 2 episodes, something like that.
It's like when you watch Dalek, some of the Dog Source videos. It's like
He's really quiet.
Miss Dalek JD. It is so quiet. It's so funny.
Oh, weak. Some of mine
Uh,
are like that too, depending, because I didn't have a mic at that time.
Yeah, but now you actually have a good one.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah. But okay. Uh, What's the next one? Okay. Ooh. If you were given control of a franchise, what would it be and why?
What do you mean by that?
Like a property. Like if you were to get control of Star Wars or Halo or something like that, what would you do with it and why? Like say you have full creative control.
Like now Halo or like before Halo 4 Halo or Halo 4 Halo? Like
I would say Halo now, because Halo now still you can still fix Halo now. It's but
okay, I'm gonna rattle them
and
off
same thing.
fast.
Okay,
Co-op campaign, both split
okay,
screen and online. More original Halo designs, more sticking to the original Halo storyline, and less of this. You gotta read the books in order to understand anything that's going on in these games, because most people who game aren't someone who's gonna sit down and read books on this content. Like most
yeah.
people don't care. Let's be honest
I
here.
re I
Unless you're a diehard
realized
fan.
it was a similar thing. You remember in Gears 3 how a lot of the stuff in that game, some things happened all, like in whatever book it was, but it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah,
Like like Dizzy being alive. If you went from 2 to 3 like I did, you realize why the hell is he still alive? How did this happen? Last time you see him, he's fighting fucking Scourge.
see, like
And
some
little
of the I don't
little
know.
things like that. But like it doesn't ruin the game. But I think even Halo didn't do that much. I think it was mostly Halo 5, where it's like, here's a bunch of characters from these books. You don't know the backstory? Don't worry about it.
It's just like one of those things where like if you look at Gears, for example, Gears 1 didn't know much about. Gears 2, they added characters, there's a history that they talk about in game, but you don't need any side content to go, well, this character is this or that character is that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no reason
3
for it.
they brought in characters from the books, but like they're not
3, they brought in characters from the books, but at
like
the same time,
Sam's a character from the books.
they held them out in their own regard enough to where you didn't need to read the books for you to go, well, this character's this and that character's that. They had their own personality enough to stand out. You know?
Yeah.
There's no references to stuff that happened in the books either. It's just, this is the game. This is what we're in now. Let's go. Whereas in Halo, it's a lot of referencing this that happened and that happened and
At least
this
Infinite,
happened.
for the most part, like there really some book of like what Blue Team did before Infinite. They went back to Reach to whatever, but I don't think it's ever brought up at all in Infinite. And Infinite is like they've said it when they came out, it was like a soft reboot. Like you can kind of just pick it up and it's fine, which is good because I like Infinite story. I think it's pretty good. It just they didn't do anything after that. They're supposed to be single player DLC, and then it just didn't happen.
That's like,
That's more
I don't know.
Microsoft thing.
It's just like this whole like outside media thing for games. I don't understand. And then
Like
also like
Star
they
Wars is a
never
similar thing, but that's more expanding the universe.
they don't listen to like their fan base. I think really, at least
Like, Infinite now is
Halo
pretty
wise.
good. There's a lot of good stuff in Halo. Well,
But
here's the
the
thing:
thing
listening to fans
is,
is good. Listening to fans too much is how you get
well, yeah, too
the
much.
newer Star Wars movies.
But I'm
That's how you get the
saying
newer
like
Star Wars movies.
when you have it right, you want like when Halo Infinite dropped, good campaign, nothing multiplayer wise.
Yeah,
The
and
content
then
did not come for
for a
almost
while,
what, like 2 years, 2 to 3 years later.
like season one wasn't. Yeah, the game first came out, or at season one, and season two was like a good almost a year. It was a while.
Yeah,
For
like they
the,
kept also the seasons were too long, and there wasn't enough content coming. Even when a season would drop, it was like one map, maybe
I
a new
think
game
doing the
mode.
free to play may have killed that game.
It's just like
Unfortunately,
all those things, and then they made promises that were never given. Don't make a promise you can't keep. Like that is literally in your franchise. That is literally a
'Cause
quote.
in I think if like free to play is good. I understand why you do free to play, but also there's microtransactions. That's kind of nature of when you make a free to play game. That's expected. Gears 5 is a similar thing of it was a Game Pass launch, So like a lot of people bought the game, or they didn't buy the game at all. They just played it when it first came out, like we did. And so there's a bunch of stuff in the store. They're going to push that store more and more to make up for the fact that no one paid for the game. And Infinite
Correct.
has similar thing. It's a multiplayer to play. You have to pay for the campaign, or you just got it on Game Pass. So like
There's
free to play works to a point. As if people buy the stuff. Like Call of Duty and Fortnite, that will sustain forever because people buy all that shit.
Yeah, but they also sustain themselves with a new season every couple of months. There's new content
Yeah,
always dropping. It's not.
they're very consistent. Even if it's
Yeah,
a bad update, there's still content in it that they
yeah.
change fairly regularly.
They still hold it down. Whereas with
Yeah,
Halo, they haven't held it down like they should. Like
yeah. I think that's more. They took people off of it. Like it wasn't doing well, so they just took more people off of it to do other projects. And Microsoft being like, it's just ripping people off and then be like, hey, just, you have less people, figure it out. You'll be fine. And then
but
they
not just
didn't.
that too. They didn't have the passion. Like Bungie had passion.
I think for the passion, they just have it in a different direction than how Bungie does it.
Well,
They have
Three
they
I don't
have a
think
different
has
idea.
the
They have a different
passion
idea of how to take Halo.
of it.
Because the Bungie flavor and the three flavor of Halo are can be very very different in sort of
They
how
are
it
very
looks and how it
different.
feels. Like and both are have their good and bads. But like I think people think of Bungie Halo as like it's the OG. It's mostly a nostalgia thing. I still love the Bungie Halo games, and even like I like some of 343 Halo stuff. You know, to a
Yeah,
point in certain games, you know, more than less. Like Halo 4 is looking back on it's pretty good, and certain things here and there. Halo 5, I've always been thinking of Halo 5. The campaign was a fucking mess, but besides from that, that game's pretty good. That multiplayer is fun. It's not Halo, not classic Halo, but it's still fun.
it's
And
alright.
and yeah, it's fun. And I mean, it also has some thing of content where there wasn't really a whole lot to do when it came out, and then over time, updated more and more. And now it's actually a lot of stuff in that game. And Infinite is now at the point where there's a lot of stuff to do in that game. It just took it longer than fucking than
It
Halo
should have.
5.
All
Ugh.
right, next question.
Yeah. Oh. Do you think you could pick your favorite movie?
Scarface. Next question.
That's a yeah. I kind of figured. Scarface is such a good movie.
It is a great movie.
I mean, and you played that Scarface game.
I just
Oh,
recently found it.
like do you get it like on Steam or whatever?
PS2. And you can't get it anywhere else. You cannot like buy it anywhere, bro. Bro,
Yeah.
actually, if you go back to that game store, look for the other games, the Fear games, and look for that. If you could find them in the original Xbox, I will play the shit out of
I
them.
don't think that's backwards compatible, is it?
I don't know, but I will try.
But they have to dig up an old original Xbox.
I mean, well, not just that, but the 360. I
Oh
still
yeah,
have
yeah,
one,
that's right.
so I might be able to play it. We'll see,
Yeah.
but just see if you could find that as well.
Yeah. Okay. What is your top five rappers slash artists? This I feel like is a
Uh,
question that's like I know what
that
you like, but I don't know if you could necessarily put like a top five.
that varies. My top five always changes, but number one is Biggie, number two is
Okay.
Eminem, number three is Tupac, number four is probably NWA, the group in general. Number
Yeah.
five always varies. I always switch number five out, but probably 50 Cent. But it like number five always varies. Like it changes so drastically
Oh yeah.
depending on like the day or the mood. That where I'm like, all right, that's number five today.
I lay I love like, I for at least for my music it's changed a lot. I like a lot of different things. It's well, the past 2 years it's been a lot of very like angry punk and metal things like that, and also just, like among other things. For you, it's just been that for as long as I've known you.
Correct.
I mean, there's also
Rap
other things you do like,
rap
but it's
will
mostly that.
always be just the my music genre,
Yeah,
which
that
is
is your
always.
thing. Is I just think that's a funny constant.
I know a lot of history of it too. Like I know like
Oh
years and
yeah,
years and years of history and of like of like musical instruments used in this era and that era wasn't, and then they took these out, but then they added this, and like I could go into it, but I'm not going to because that will be 4 hours.
Musical history is always really interesting because I like I don't think it's one thing I learned. There's a band that I've listened to. It's called Suicidal Tendencies. They're like one of the old school punk bands.
Hmm.
They're they started. That was back like when it was before NWA and stuff like that, before like gangster rap was a thing. And because well, I think more people that were fine with artists who were criminals because like I think that isn't the thing with NWA. Like most of them were criminals in some way.
Only technically only
Like
two
only
were
all of them got
full.
arrested, right?
Only two of them were like full.
Yeah, because with suicidal tendencies, it was they were a lot of the members had affiliations with um, I think Venice 13 was like a gang on Venice Beach, and that was like
Nice.
before that was that was before like before NWA, before like people realized like you could do that. You could be an artist but also be affiliated with gangs. So there are people that are like advocacy group, like you can't play here because there could be like riots and stuff like that. You get mugged outside this at this concert and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because it was like because for NWA, two of them were drug dealers. Then you also have like if you're talking about that era of stuff, you also have Wu Tang, which most of them
Oh yeah.
were criminals. Um, you have 80s. It was mostly like them
Yeah.
for real. And
It's
then it
like
was until like the 90s where like that skyrocketed,
well they getting popular and they were just fine with it.
where it was like every like rapper was some form or fashion in some kind of like thing.
Yeah, it's not like nowadays where that's very much less the case, and that's fine. But it's a different kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
no,
like. I
the only
don't
thing is
like.
like in rap nowadays, it's more fake
Yeah,
than it
that's
was.
why. That's why I don't like a lot of newer rap. Mostly it's just like how it sounds. Well, I mean, usually I'm not super big on rap. It really depends. I don't like certain artists, mostly because you could tell it's just fake and lying. Like Drake. All of that is wrong. He,
What?
every single thing that man says is lying.
Well, yeah,
Impressive.
he's mostly just a.
He he grew
Whoa. We won't talk about all that because that's where like
not
the
even.
fans come and they just
I,
defend completely.
it's mostly not even that. It's mostly the actual where he's from. He if you listen to songs always like ran drugs or whatever. That's normal rap. That's usually what people talk about. But Drake especially is like he didn't do that. He grew up in like a nice. He's from Canada. Grew up in like a nice neighborhood. He was on
Yeah,
Degrassi.
yeah, he was an actor and everything. Like he
Yeah,
was
he like
full on like
and he was
good.
his friends with a kid whose dad was like an acting agent or whatever.
So
And
yeah,
like
like
he posted a thing a few years ago. It was like here's his paycheck for his first concert that he did, and it wasn't that much. And it's like, oh, started from nothing. He opened for Ice Cube. You don't just
started
start your
from
first show
nothing.
and open for Ice
Yeah,
Cube.
no, and not to mention he got signed by Wayne.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So he
That's
like
like
literally had the best start you could have had.
like Wayne started from nothing, was
Yeah.
affiliated with other things, and became
Yeah.
something. Like
Yeah.
that is a man that did things.
Yeah.
Whereas like that one, no, like
I was like, I don't really listen to that much newer stuff.
I don't listen to any new rap really. I mean,
It
Juice is
depends.
good. J. Cole's good, of
Yeah,
course.
J. Cole's good.
Kendrick,
I used to listen to
Joyner,
a bunch of Logic, but I don't really listen to that much anymore.
Logic is good, but he doesn't rap anymore. At
Yeah, he
least
doesn't really do
he said
much.
he was
Not often.
retiring. I
He
don't
said
know if
he's retired a
he's
lot. He keeps like going back and back. And he put out something like last year or year before. I didn't really listen to it.
that's the thing though. Like with rap, it's not really something you retire from. It's kind of just ingrained in you.
Yeah.
Some people do, like Ice
It's
T.
kind of it's weird. Like rap is to get into if you want to do it because it's not like we making a band or need a guitarist, a drummer, bassist, all that stuff. For rap, you just need to make the beat and then just do it.
See, back in the day, you did
It's
need someone else though.
oh yeah.
You needed a
Nowadays it's just so
DJ.
easy.
Nowadays, you don't need a DJ.
You
Like
need a
that's
Dr.
gone.
Dre.
It's correct. You need it because like originally it was just like the MC was just the guy who like made a song and the DJ was like the real artist. So
Yeah.
the MC wasn't like a big artist at the time, and then it just popularized around like the 70s, 80s, where the MC kind of became his own thing. There was no more DJ, it was just that guy.
Yeah.
And that's when they started creating like the beats on like the machines, and you can go to a studio and just do it all yourself.
Now you can open GarageBand and stuff like that and just make a beat.
Yeah, now they have
Which, I
like
mean,
so many tools where you can do that stuff.
The barrier to entry is so low now. So even if you want to not do that and just make any sort of music, you can't just do it.
Yeah, because you could be a SoundCloud rapper. I mean, how many people became real big time ones from being SoundCloud?
Yeah. There's a bunch of rappers started at that. I was gonna say 6ix9ine, but I don't think he started as that. We're not gonna get into that.
No, Little Peep did.
Yeah.
There's some other ones I can't remember exactly, but they started like there and then just became known, and then
Yeah.
that was it. So it became
Uh,
easier over time, whereas back in the day you had to go to a label, you had to go through the doors and get accepted, and then the label would pick what you're making, or like, oh, you need radio hits, and you needed radio hits on an album so
Yeah.
that the radio could play it, and you can actually get some sound played, and people can know who you are, and
Yeah.
like
Making new
nowadays you
music
don't need
now
that.
is easy. Well, because like making money from now is different than it was back then. Because no one buys CDs anymore. So like the
Yeah,
way
no,
they
it's all
count,
streams.
yeah, the way they count that, like sales technically is just how much they listen to something, like how much of a song you listen to, or saves. People save their albums. Because I was looking at this, the most popular song I think on the Billboard Top 100, the most played song this year or 2023, it was a country song, and country music now is becoming more popular because of infrastructure, because there's more easier to put out music, and people are able to listen to it from literally anywhere in the country. You could live in the middle of fucking nowhere and listen to whatever you want, and people listen to in the middle of nowhere and out in the country, probably the country music. And there's a lot of nowhere in the United States,
Correct.
unfortunately, because most country music nowadays is kind of shit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I
Anyway,
I don't
moving
like.
on to the next question.
Yeah.
We're
Wait,
gonna
don't
be
upset
here for
people
a
listening to
while.
that?
We're gonna be here for a while with music. Like, I know it. We
That's
gotta
something that me and you or no.
we gotta cut it off.
There's a lot of crossover between me
fast.
and you, and I feel like the music is like the biggest point where it's not all the same.
No, very different.
There's yeah. Other than that, I feel like it's pretty similar.
It
Uh,
really depends. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Not going into music anymore.
Uh, okay. If you could collaborate with any content creator, who would it be and why?
That's a
I feel like that's a tough pick.
hard one.
Yeah.
Any?
Yeah. I imagine that's changed throughout the years on who it would be.
It really has, and I can't think of like specifically one.
They stump you a little bit.
Yeah, I can't.
Would you like some time to think about it?
Yeah, go to the next question. Come back to that one. Remember to come back to that one because I need to think.
I'll make sure. I'll make sure to forget. Uh. Ooh. Okay. Was something you dislike that everyone else likes, or vice versa?
Anime.
I mean, that's more of a style thing because you don't really watch any cartoons at all, really.
No, not anymore.
You still haven't seen like Spider-Verse or anything like that,
No, I will at some point.
which
'Cause
I
of
recommend. That
Spider-Man.
movie. Yeah, that movie is so good. Even if you don't really watch it like cartoons or anything like that, I just recommend that. The movie's so good. But the anime
Yeah.
thing, I understand. Like some people just don't do that, and even then,
I'm just-
I don't really. It's just never been your thing.
Yeah, no, like people are into it, and like that's good for you, but I just can't. I don't see. I just have no interest. There's just nothing there that's like, oh, that's cool. It's just kind of like, I don't really
It's
care.
yeah, which I also don't really watch that much anime. I don't, I watch more than you, but that's not by much.
Yeah, no, like I don't watch it at all. But like I said, like to each their own. You like it, you like it. If you, I just don't. I don't see a reason for it.
To be fair, the only thing I really watch consistently is Dragon Ball, but that's because I watched it when I was a kid.
Yeah, see, like I didn't even watch much of, like the anime, quote unquote type shows. Like,
You were busy watching Scarface.
correct. I was watching other things.
Oh God. Uh. Okay. Do you have a guilty pleasure?
What does that even mean?
Is like something that like it's not good, but you just watch it because you like it, or like you do something that you like, even though it's not necessarily good.
What, like some movies?
Like some movie that like is not a good movie, but you just enjoy it, or maybe a game that you like that's not good.
Uh, there's a couple of games that I know is not good that I play just because I can.
Yeah.
If I if I'm going from that, if I'm going from game wise, I would probably say, uh, uh,
If like
probably
there's one
Resident Evil 6
yeah, I was gonna say Resident Evil 6. Because
because
Resident
I
Evil
know it's
6.
not good, but it's fun. Or like even like the board games.
Oh yeah, like some people play like Monopoly or shit like
Like
that.
they're not like I'd rather play like the actual thing, but it kills time, so why not?
Yeah.
Movie wise though, I can't really like everything I watch is pretty good. Not to
It's
toot my own
no,
horn, but like
but like you watch you don't. There's not like some movie you watch where like it's not necessarily a good one, but you just like enjoy it.
I guess you would say like the prequels, like the Star Wars prequels.
because those are fun to laugh at because they're fucking
Yeah, like those
ridiculous.
like I like them. I know that most people don't, but I like them, so I don't really care.
Like it's like I can acknowledge that the prequels are terrible, but there's something about them that's hilarious. Where everything
It's
that
just
said
something that
is
like
really
you
fucking
enjoy
weird.
it.
And
You
yeah,
you come out of it still enjoying it. Like you like it's not like I watched that. Why did I watch that? It's like I came out of that. I enjoyed my time watching it for some reason.
that's
That's
really
it.
funny. It's like
So I guess those would be it. Yeah, Resident Evil
like I
6
remember
and the prequels.
we were watching Attack of the Clones and it was the dumbest goddamn thing ever.
Oh, yeah, it's like the movies aren't necessarily good, but they're good enough to where you still enjoy it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's a very
Now,
much
if
a
it was like
nostalgia thing.
it's not like Napoleon where it's like I come out of that and I'm disappointed and I'm mad.
You fucking, you're just fucking punching your steering wheel as you're driving home.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah,
not mad
bullshit.
about it. Like I come out of it, I enjoyed my time, and that's all that matters.
God, that one's such a fucking terrible movie. It's so funny.
It's still enjoyable.
The thing is, Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, they're both, I say, of equal quality of bad, but it's just which type of bad do you want?
One's
Do you
boring,
want do you want something
and
that's very
one's
boring, or do you want something that's so fucking incomprehensible and weird that it's just hilarious?
then that's number two.
Oh God. Ooh. If you were making your own movie, who is your go-to director?
Depends on what movie.
Yeah.
Um. Okay, so like, if it's an action movie,
Yeah.
right, with a lot of like actiony things and just a lot of like blood and gore, Quentin Tarantino automatically.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tarantino. He's
If it's like a
pretty good.
storyline, Martin Scorsese. If yeah, no, that's about it.
You want like a Brian De Palma or something like that?
Well, he didn't. Yeah, he did direct.
Yeah, so he
I
did
would say
Scarface,
him
didn't
too. He did Scarface and he did Carlito's Way. But I would say like out of those two, like those would probably be ideal. Like
He
those
also
would
did
be
the
like
first
number
Mission
one.
Impossible.
Like those are number one. Like Martin Scorsese or Quentin Tarantino. And that's because like one of them is just a fun like time of just a movie, and then the other one is like story filled, like
Yeah.
you know. So those would
Godfather.
probably be ideals. Well, that's
Oh, he didn't
Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, yeah, he didn't do The Godfather. What is-
Goodfellas. He did Goodfellas, The Departed, The
yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street, um, Gangs of New York. Um, he did a lot of things. The Irishman, Killers
never
of the
watched-
Flower Moon that just came out that I still want to see.
We never got around to watching Godfather Part 2.
No, that's
We watched the first one. The first one was pretty good.
the second one is better in my opinion.
Yeah.
Actually, everyone says that, but like that is
I realize if we're picking favorite movies and stuff like that, I feel like our lists are also very different.
very different.
You're picking like Scarface and The Godfather. I'm picking like,
Exactly.
Terminator 2.
Well, Terminator 2 is also a great movie.
Terminator 2 is amazing.
Everyone agrees there.
Yeah, it's. I guess it's like when I think of favorite movies, I was thinking like those old school 80s and 90s movies because like it's just that style in that era is
It's
really really cool.
the strange thing is too. We were born in 2000s,
Yeah,
so 80s and 90s movies shouldn't have even been like an actual
it's
thought.
nostalgia for an era that we were never a part of.
Yeah, but it's like those movies are probably like go-to for like most of them.
Whenever if I ever rewatch Commando, I'm gonna have a great time no matter what.
I just rewatched it.
The movie's so
Great movie.
It's
Great
fucking
movie.
absurd.
It's so
That's the kind of movie I love.
it's so absurd, but it's so absurd that it's good.
It's peak Arnold. I would say like that's like the era when he was the shit.
Oh yeah, he was because around that time was Predator. I think after that was Predator.
I think because I think Commando was really after Terminator, like the first one, and like right before Predator.
yeah,
Was he
it was
the
like right
director for
before.
Predator also directed Die Hard?
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either until I like literally was looking at something about that earlier today. And like that sounds about right.
Yeah, no, it makes more sense then. It makes a
They're
lot
making
more
two
sense.
back-to-back great '80s movies.
Different time though. That was when movies were good and they weren't just reboots.
It's a different era of movies nowadays. There's still good movies now, but it's like
It's not as original. It's not many original movies. Back then, it was like that was the only thing that there was.
yeah.
Now
There's still bad movies back then, but it's like
it wasn't as many. Honestly, like there wasn't as many where you're like, that's bad, that's bad. Like now, you're like 20 different movies that came out this year were all horribly bad.
there's a lot of I think nowadays because we're past the Marvel making the cinematic universes, people studios making super crazy decisions for movies and it works because that's how you get. That's why, like Star Wars was not expected to do well and then it did amazingly well.
Yeah,
Things like that.
Wait,
And like there's movies like that, like Ghostbusters, movies that shouldn't do well, but they do, and spawn franchises, do all this stuff. And then that's why you get movies or studios making movies like that are crazy, like like fucking Morbius and things like that, where it's like you shouldn't have made this because it just didn't work.
correct.
I think like modern superhero movies are not they're either amazing, pretty
Or
good,
bad.
or terrible.
Like,
Like
there's no in
most of the
between.
Marvel movies are pretty good. DC is hit or miss.
Well,
for other
most of the
movies.
Marvel movies are good. Most of the Marvel shows, though, are horrible.
Say Daredevil, amazing. Everything else I didn't. Daredevil's really
With-
fucking good.
With like DC,
It's also a
they
mess.
they're just yeah. Like
Well, 'cause-
maybe they have one or two good ones every now and then, but most of the
they're, like,
time, like they're bad.
The Dark Knight trilogy, and then after that, they have a lot of great things to add.
The Dark Knight trilogy is in DC technically.
Yeah, but it's not like their newer universe they tried doing. Their universe they tried doing, there's like, I think the only good movie in that was The Suicide Squad, the new one. That movie is so good. And then Shazam was alright. And then Aquaman's also alright. and then like Suicide Squad 2016 is incomprehensible.
They're,
you
they're,
like you like it because Margot Robbie.
yes. That's all that
You
matters.
should just watch. You should just watch the new one, and she's in that. I think
I'm
probably
gonna
more.
at some point.
You're like, oh, that's all I need. Start rubbing your hands together. It's like,
I'm weak.
the modern DC's not a. I still have not watched the Batman, and I need to, but it's also like a 3 hour movie.
I did. It was all right. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say it was like as good as people said it was, but it wasn't bad.
yeah. With Rob at Bat and Bat.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got?
How many
Uh,
more are
what,
there?
only got a few more. How long have we been at this? I didn't actually really check. See.
Almost an hour.
Okay. So yeah, I'll rattle some of these off. Okay. Uh, unlimited money. What's the first thing you're doing?
Anything and everything. There's no specific answer to that. Like it's unlimited. Like there's no ending to it. I could do
Yeah.
whatever I want.
It's like whatever I want. Next question.
Buy a tiger.
Then you get the big mansion. You get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women.
Exactly, and I get a
Yeah.
tiger.
Uh,
Just like him.
I mean, it didn't really end well for him.
Yeah, but he got a tiger.
If he gave me everything else, he shot his best friend.
Yeah, but he got a tiger.
I see this as an absolute win.
Exactly.
Okay. What is a superpower you wish you had?
Mind reading.
I feel like that could. What if you use that and you see someone like you, like you use it on one of us and you see something you don't like?
I mean,
Not
I
like I'm planning to like kill you or anything, or I hate you,
with
but
great power
like,
comes great responsibility.
yeah, I
I'm
feel like that
responsible for that.
once you get the power, you're not anything could happen.
Yeah, but good things could happen from that.
Say power corrupts, isn't that the whole point of Scarface?
Yeah, but this is like mind reading.
That's still
It's
power.
not that serious.
Eh, eh.
Actually, it's probably even worse. Now that I think about it,
Yeah,
because you know everyone's intentions,
yeah. Part of
unless
life
they're
is that you don't
stupid
know. Oh yeah.
and they don't think. Then at that point, you're kind of out of luck.
I don't think people have no thoughts at all. They just people have different ways of doing that.
You never know. You don't. You
Like,
don't. You don't get to hear their thoughts, so you don't know if there's thoughts or not.
did you see the thing? It was like if you're told to visualize something, like there's 4 or 5 ways that your brain decides to do that. Well, it's like if there's 4 or 5 ways a person's brain does that. Like if I tell you to visualize an apple, you visualize it in your head. What do you visualize? Do you visualize an apple? Do you visualize just like a shape? Some people don't visualize anything at all.
An apple, like the red apple with the green leaf on top.
Yeah, it's like some people. It's more like some people have very detailed images in their mind, and some people don't have any at all.
Oh,
And it
mine's very
varies
detailed.
from severity. Yeah, mine's also the same.
Like if I like think of anything, everything's like visually like detailed. Like sometimes I like will plan things out with it, and I can like literally like see everything and plan it completely.
Yeah,
Some people, yeah, some people can't do that, but I can. So
I feel like that'd be so annoying.
what, not being able to?
Yeah,
Probably. But I mean, it's not like you're gonna think about it.
well, yeah,
You,
'cause
you
you can't
don't
see
know
it.
other people can. Like that's just you. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah,
something that you don't have to think about because it's out of sight, out of mind. To
yeah,
you, that's makes sense because that's your mind. When you can fully visualize things, that just sounds crazy to them because they can't. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Their whole life has been not that.
Yeah. So it's like it's not like it would affect people much because they wouldn't. It just wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, I have 2 more. What is the first thing you look for in somebody?
Eyes and personality.
The eyes.
Yeah, like 100%. Like that's the first that and personality. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think that goes for literally anybody, not even like someone you're like interested in. Like there's those for anybody. I would
Yeah,
say.
well, for anybody, it's just personality in general.
Yeah,
Cause like
it's like
usually I could pick people, like I could pick people apart very fast. So I usually are like that person's cool, that person's not, that person's good, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just fast. It's like rapidly, like I could just be like boom, 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 boom. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a very similar question. Is like, what's the first thing you notice when you meet somebody?
Hair. Yeah, usually
I'm very
hair.
much like a face. It's like I mean, you meet somebody that's the first thing you look at.
It's usually hair.
Yeah,
I don't know
I'm
why.
yeah. It's like a it's usually face. Just I mean, I wouldn't think hair, but I mean that's part of that.
Well, because I don't like that's just the first thing. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the first thing.
Mm. I remember in fucking high school you had long hair for a little bit and then you just didn't.
Correct. I finally cut it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not great.
Now I don't have it at all anymore.
Yeah. As a me did long hair at certain points. I feel like mine came out better. I wouldn't say
Mine's too
it's
curly for it.
yeah. Yours look like a perm.
Mine's way too curly for it, and it
Really,
also grows more to the back than
yeah.
it does in the
It
front.
was really funny.
It almost looks like a mullet.
Yeah, mine is so thick and it's like thick and pretty curly. So like any length is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Like and
that's the
you've seen me
issue.
with long hair before, so
Yeah, no, I tried not to have it long anymore.
you, you always made fun of me for it.
Yes, 'cause, like I don't know, like long. I tried it. I didn't like it. I don't like it in
Yeah.
general. I don't like it on guys. Some people can pull it off, but most can't.
Yeah. Most people aren't Geralt.
Like most people cannot pull off the long
It's one
hair
of those
thing.
looks that it's not easy to do. But once
It's
you
like
have it,
bald.
you have it. Oh
It's
yeah.
like bald. Like most people can pull it off, but then there's some people that just can't.
Some people have heads that are like perfectly shaped for a bald head.
Correct.
I don't.
It's some don't.
I hope my head's for that because if at some point if I start losing my hair, which I don't think it is gonna happen, I'm probably pretty good on that. Most men in my family are good for that, at
So
least for
yeah,
a while.
same. Most are mine as well.
It's like if it ever happens, it's like in their 60s or 50s or 60s. Do I have
And
time?
at that point, you're already old enough where you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and I might remember my dad said the same thing. Is like, and I did the same thing too. Like, if I start losing my hair, I'm just gonna cut it all off.
Yeah, because at that point you don't care. You're like, I'm already older. Who
Yeah.
cares?
Mhm. Okay. I don't think I missed a question.
No, you got to circle back to the other one.
Oh, fuck! Which one was that?
The collab one.
Oh yeah. Do you have an answer?
It would probably be Mr. Awful Waffles,
Okay. The king
and that's
himself.
because he is the legend of zombies.
Hey, he has a podcast too. Maybe we'll put you on there.
Does he really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't remember. Maybe I do know
Hey,
about that, and I just can't remember it.
he's had Hidden Xperia on there a couple times.
Damn.
Yeah, 'cause they're both big zombies guys.
So collab, Mr. Awful Waffles collab.
I was like, ever saw that, I was like, oh, he had an accent on there too.
Really? Yeah, I need to do it. That'd be amazing. That'd be a legendary thing.
Right, that is the end of the first episode, probably. How good are you feeling about doing more? Maybe
Oh,
doing
we could.
a semi-regular thing?
Yeah, we just gotta figure out what we're doing next with it.
Yeah. Because I've still like, do we do a topic set or just kind of, you wing it? Which I mean,
We'll figure.
we kind of talked for a while about just some stuff.
we winged it. We could do topics. I mean, we'll talk about it more and figure it out more and go from there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. Whatever happens in the second episode is what we came up with.
Also, time of coming out to be determined.
Next week.
I mean, if like the next when we do the next one.
Oh, when we do the second one, I have no clue.
Yeah, we'll figure
At
it
some
out.
point.
We'll figure it out. All right. That is the end of this.
That is the ending.
What is the? Oh, yeah, what's your whole spiel? The liking, the comment, subscribing.
Oh, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. We'll see you guys in the next video and podcast /
Question
podcast,
mark?
whatever you want to call it. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, and remember to stay safe.